In 2017, I played some really good golf. I had 25 out of 30 rounds under par in a tournament, and I got to play in a lot of invitationals. And Rolex TOC, I was in the final group on the third day and got to play with Lucy Lee, which was awesome, and I honestly didn't expect to be there. I didn't really know I could do that. So playing good at that time created a lot of expectations for me. And in the beginning of 2018, I had a lesson with Sean, and we talked about a couple of things that had to change with my golf swing to prevent some injuries that were probably going to come in the future. So playing with swing changes and expectations was not a good mix. It did lead to some really high numbers. I shot 90 at the swinging skirts and lost 13 golf balls and still had to play another 18 afterwards, it was really hard. It's hard to play bad golf when you want to compete so bad and do the best that you can all the time, and it's hard to play through that.
The one thing that the kids need to realize is that sometimes being the best in the country at 15 is a curse as much as it is a gift.
I can remember Sean Foley, my coach, telling me that it did not matter how good I was right now. When I was 13 or 14, the only thing that we were working on was trying to get better for the future. And as a 13-year-old, when you were playing good and you weren't playing good anymore, it's hard to hear that, and because you want to play good. And so he talked to me a lot about acceptance, and now that my perspective is a lot better, I think that my game is going to improve. I started working with a coach named Joe Hallett at age 9, which was really exciting for me because he had worked with some of the best women's players in the world. He worked with Stacey Lewis, and he also worked with MB Park. It was really awesome to work with him just because he made it so simple and it was really fun. He made a lot of corny jokes, so we were really just out there having a good time, but we were still working on my game. My dad and Sean Foley were roommates in college, and they play on the same golf team. And there came a point where Sean thought it was necessary that I start working with him. And Joe Hallett also thought the same thing, and he was excited for me to get to work with him. So I began working with Sean, and we worked a lot on athletic motions. And a lot of people do think that he's a really technical coach, but he's not at all. He is really simple. And we would spend 5-6 hours at our lessons, and a lot of it would be just talking about the game and talking about the mental side of golf as well. So it's been awesome to have the opportunity to work with him, and he's been a great coach.
Okay, so you're hitting the ball dead straight.
So we can't say that we can see really any correlation between being the best at 15, 16, and 17 and making it. We can't. Because at some point, golf's going to get difficult for everybody. Right. And if it hasn't been difficult your whole life, it's come quite easy to you. Even though you've worked hard, it's not been overly difficult to figure it out. Is that when it gets more difficult, that's kind of when we see, you know, what you're made of at that point. And trust me, it's going to get difficult. Right.
Yeah. Okay. Work.
Dang it, you suck. A lot of bad things did happen in 2018 as well. I hit the wrong ball twice in the same round of a golf tournament. I signed the wrong scorecard and was disqualified from the Tennessee Women's Am, which I would have advanced to match play in. And I did hit from the wrong tee box at the Scott Robertson. So I pretty much did about all the bad things and stupid things you can do in golf. A couple of good things did come out of 2018. I was able to play and qualify for the USAM, and I was able to play in my hometown, which is an awesome experience. And I was also able to go over to France and play for the USA team at the Evian Cup, which was awesome getting to play in that just because we don't get to play in a team atmosphere all the time in golf. So it was really fun getting to do that. More recently, I have started working with Jeff Pierce up at Old Stone, and we began by mostly just working on the short game, working on a lot of putting and a lot of chipping. And we have also gotten into a lot of course management and being able to hit the shots that you know you can hit and be good at what you can do. And we have gotten into the swing a little bit as well. My dad was a really good collegiate golfer, and he did play pro golf for a little while. But he was smart enough to realize that I did need some better coaching in my life and my golf game. And but I'm also aware that he was a really good player, and there's a lot of things that I can still learn from him, and we do work a lot on putting.
So, Chance, do you think your sister's any good?
I mean, I beat her a couple of times. She's a little overconfident in my opinion. She gets a little too cocky and makes bets that she knows she thinks she can win, but I always win them, of course.